My dear friends, we're going to start a revolution, and I hope you're going to join me. We are set to abolish organized religion. You see, in terms of Judaism, organized religion is actually a contradiction in terms, because we know that Judaism isn't a religion, but Judaism is a way of life. The problem is when we get caught up with the details, we get caught up with the organized part of it, and then Judaism loses its soul when it's not personal, unrelated to us, and we're just doing the motions. You know, they say the story of the holy Tzemach Tzedek, who was once sent on a mission from his community where he lived in Russia to visit a particular community in Germany. When he returned home, people asked him, so what was your impression of that Jewish community? And he said, I can sum them up in one word. He says, they're a portrait. They're perfect. Every day they start prayer at the same time, finish at the same time. There's never a day that's better or worse. Everything is always the same. It's picture perfect. But they're missing something that we have. He says, you know, I noticed in our community, every day is different. One day is better. The next day is a bit worse. We have days where we're up and days that we're down, but we're alive. It's personal. It's real. It's meaningful. By them, everything is perfect. But there's no soul. There's no individual. It's robotic. It's like, you know, we do the motions of Judaism. Obviously, we have the Manischewitz gefilte fish, Judaism in a bottle. For very religious, we have the Manischewitz grape juice or matzah. We have a bar mitzvah. Bar mitzvah, don't get me wrong, they're important events. Torah gives significance. They're very important events. But the problem is when we just do the motions and forget what it's about. When the bar mitzvah boy or bar mitzvah girl aren't taught what's really happening. You know, they say the story about the Schelamite who was struggling in business. He had this little store, no one ever came in. And he's driving down Main Street one day and he sees this large store with a line out the door. He says, what's the key to their success? And he sees a big sign that says, grand opening sale. He says, that's it. I'm going to put a sign on my store and people are going to come. He goes a little further down the street. He sees another store. This one has even a longer line down the street. He says, what's their success? He sees another sign. This sign says, going out of business sale. He says, that's it. He goes to his store and he puts up two signs. Grand opening, going out of business sale. Now they say, unfortunately, many times that's what a bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah ends up being. It's a welcome and goodbye to Judaism. We lose the soul. They're beautiful. Bar mitzvahs are part of who we are, and part of the way Torah set things up. We also have to have the person involved, the meaning, the purpose, not just the details, not just the organized part of it. We come to synagogue on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, we feel obligated. Our soul tells us it's the right thing to do. And that's beautiful. After all, I wouldn't be in business if not for that. The problem is when we walk into synagogue and we leave ourselves outside. When it's not personal. We're just doing the motions. When it's meaningless to me, I don't think about it. What does Rosh Hashanah actually mean to me? I sit by the Seder. What does Passover mean to me? My dear friends, I hope you're going to join me as we abolish organized religion and we replace it with what Judaism was always meant to be. Judaism with a heart. Judaism with a soul. Judaism that's meaningful. How every mitzvah, every tradition has purpose and meaning and value and an objective to accomplish something in our own lives and to affect us in a personal way. When it comes Passover, we sit down by the Seder. We obviously have the Manischewitz wine after all. Isn't that what Moses drank? But then we also try to understand what's Passover mean? What's it about? What's freedom? What is matzah about? What's the maror? What's the 4 cups about? We have a bar mitzvah, a bat mitzvah. We explain to the young man and young woman, you know what a bar mitzvah is about? It's such an important milestone. It's the time you become a man, you become a woman. You are now the torch of Judaism, the torch of our heritage, the torch of our message and our destiny is being passed to you. That responsibility, that obligation, that privilege is now being handed down to the next generation. It's so significant. It's so meaningful. We come to synagogue, Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. The rabbi's job is to try to point us to meaningful stories and anecdotes and perspectives. But then we're given the machzor, the prayer book. We're privileged to have organized by our sages so many years ago, filled with important, meaningful prayers. Our job is to make it personal. Find the prayer that talks to me. We should walk out of the synagogue a different person than we came in. What does Rosh Hashanah mean to me? I do the motions, but now what is it? How does it apply to my life? It's because after all, the holidays is all about you and God. It's personal. My dear friends, let's try together. This coming year, we should make Judaism a little bit more personal, a little more meaningful. And after all, we have so many books. We're blessed with so much information and explanation and commentary. Every single mitzvah in Judaism is saturated with meaning. And all we have to do is to tap into it. And I should say, and I don't want to do this because it takes away from the splash of what I just said, but this is actually not new. This is actually how Judaism was always intended to be. Think about those famous, often quoted words of the Jewish people. A moment before we became a nation, God was about to give us the Torah, and he asked the people, are you going to obey? And the Jews responded 2 words, Na'aseh v'nishma. We're going to obey, and we're going to listen. The first thing, the premise was obedience. God tells us, we listen. We follow the driver's manual of life. But then the second part is important as well. V'nishma. Judaism values understanding. We're going to comprehend. We're going to make it personal. I'm going to connect to it. I'm going to internalize the message of Rosh Hashanah, of Tefillin, of Shabbat candles, of whatever it may be. It's going to be real. This is how Judaism always was. Let's tap into that energy. Let's experience it. I'd like to wish you and your family a Shana Tova U'Metuka, good and sweet year. You should be blessed with all things that you need, with health, and with nachas, and with success for you and your family, and all of the nation, all Klal Yisrael. Shana Tova.